Hi guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4, and today I am building a small cottage in Willow Creek for a single mom, and this is very cute, I think, personally. It's the type of house that I enjoy playing in, like one story, suburban. So here's the thing, is that I know that as of when I started my channel, I actually haven't done many suburbans because when I started my channel, I tried to like branch out more in my building style, which you can kind of tell, I feel like. You can tell that some styles I'm not as necessarily experienced in, and so there's not actually a lot of suburban houses, if any, I don't think, on my channel. But if you look at my gallery page from right before I started my channel, there is just an insane amount. Like it's like pages of these suburban houses and like craftsmen and stuff. So yeah, it was a little bit fun to go back to my roots for this one. It's pretty cute, I think. To be honest, I was a bit out of experience doing this, so I was kind of messing around as much as I could, but not exactly sure where I was going with this one. So I think it turns out pretty nice though. The roof line is a bit strange, but besides that, I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. But anyway, the main packs used for this build are going to be Seasons, Parenthood, and Cats and Dogs. And Parenthood really isn't that necessary, except for the counters. So I do use the Parenthood counters. However, everything else from Parenthood is mostly clutter stuff because I basically use the Parenthood clutter in every single build. The Cats and Dogs are Seasons, and Seasons are mostly what the furniture is compiled of, and then like other essential things. And it's not completely restrictive, so there's other things from other packs in this build that don't fit those parameters. However, I tried to make sure that everything that was super essential is from those packs. The only thing that I can think of right now that's not from one of those packs that is kind of important is this chimney that we have, which is just a sized up chimney from Get Together. But I imagine that you could find something else to replace that with relatively easily. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I will try to write something in the description if I can remember to do that. But anyway, right here we have the outside of this build coming together. It's pretty cute. I used the base game windows mostly, and also these windows. I have a question really fast. Am I the only one that thought that those windows that I put on the side of the house there were from Parenthood? Because I could swear that they were. Like, I have such a vivid recollection of getting Parenthood because that was the first pack I ever got. And I remember getting those windows and using those windows on something. A hideous build, by the way, because I was very bad at building when I first got that pack. But I remember using those windows and being like excited because I hadn't been able to use them before. But now that I've looked at them again, it looks like they're from base game now. And I know that Parenthood has the other like 3 tile wide window that matches that style, but the 1 tile wide one is apparently base game. I don't know. Is that just me? I think I've heard other people say that also, but I could be wrong. But that's weird. Kind of bothers me because I'm not sure if I'm just being delusional or whatever. But yeah. So I used those windows also, and then oh god, and then I used the Cats and Dogs doors for both the front door and the back door, and then I just used these base game doors for the regular house. But like I said, yeah, a lot of this stuff is from base game Cats and Dogs and Parenthood. Oh, the flooring is from Jungle Adventure, but you could replace that with really any other wood flooring. The one that comes to mind right now is the one from base game that's kind of grained and like multicolored. So each wood plank has a different color to it. I think that one's cute and it's sort of similar in style. But anyway, right here, I took a while to figure out the layout for the kitchen, to be honest. It was just kind of not exactly accessible the way I wanted it to be. And I didn't realize how small this space was, which I feel like kind of makes sense because, like I said, this is a single mom's house, and also the child that she has is a toddler. So I was kind of imagining that she is pretty young herself. So I was thinking maybe she had her baby like pretty young, maybe when she was like in the late teen years, and now she's just moved out on her own and like trying to make it on her own, you know, but obviously she doesn't have a ton of money yet. So this house, honestly, is not a budget home by any means, but I feel like kind of does look like a budget home just to the extent that there's not a ton of clutter everywhere, and the stuff that is clutter, it's very clearly like unintentional clutter. Like the thing is, even when I do like fancy people, rich people's homes, and I want to make them cluttered, I put the type of clutter that's like, oh, statues and decorations, so it's really more like decor than actual clutter. But here it's like tissue boxes and home crafts and stuff like that, so I feel like that's fitting. So yeah, you'd have to cheat if you actually want to get this house properly, but I think it's really cute, so I don't know, personally I like it a lot. And it's very pastel. I've been getting a lot into the pastel like building lately, because I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did. I literally built like a pastel tiny house, like that's what it was called, pastel tiny house, last week. I think it was last week. And then I also did like a family apartment with a lot of pastels in it, because I just feel like that's fitting for the whole family theme. But this one is pretty blue also. I like that. I've done other single moms houses, and whenever I do that, it always ends up blue, which is kind of weird. I don't know why, but I like the way that it looks. I really like this color scheme, because like the muted blue, especially on these countertops and on the doors, from Cats and Dogs, I really like that blue. I think it looks really, I don't know how to describe it. I just like it more than some of the other blues in the game that are kind of, you know, really obnoxious. I use those blues too, though. I use basically every blue I can. I have a bit of a problem with that. But either way, yeah, the kitchen is pretty much done here. I wanted to use, obviously, one counter. I wanted to leave one counter empty, so I didn't put a ton of clutter on that. I did put out a fruit platter and just some other stuff, and then I'm using these salt shakers from Debug, which the instructions for how to access Debug are always in my description. So yeah, that's there. And speaking of, by the way, we are closely approaching the date that we're going to get all of these new objects from Debug. I'm assuming they're from Debug. 1,000 new objects from live mode, and I am so excited. I'm actually going to be out of town like when it comes out, as far as I know, so I'm kind of sad that I won't get to explore them right away. But I do play on my laptop, so I think I'll be able to bring my laptop and like just check them out, but I won't be able to do any builds with them, just because, yeah, I won't have time. But I think I'll still be able to look at them, and I'm very, very excited. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure on the stream it showed that they were under a different cheat than bb.showhiddenobjects, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I'm hoping that at some point in the near future they overhaul the debug system so that we can like have it more sorted out and organized, because it's, at the moment, the debug menu, obviously the debug catalog is kind of disorganized, just in essence of what it is, but it's very hectic, like looking through it, it's just really overwhelming, because even if you know where, like you know what stuff there is, you don't necessarily know where to go to find it. So yeah, I'm hoping that at some point they organize that so that we can just, you know, access it a little bit easier, because a lot of people that play the game, like once you've played the game for a while, you know debug, right? Debug objects become kind of like similar in a way to just regular objects. Some of them you just use as defaults, right? And so it's kind of, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me that it's so hard to access them. But yeah, if they do that eventually, I will be very happy. But anyway, right here, I just put on a remote from Debug on this little poof from Island Living. By the way, I've been using that so often. That is really cute. The Island Living stuff in general is really nice, but I feel like that's one thing in particular that really fits in well in like most areas or like most places in the world. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. But anyway, I do put 2 magazines on top of that as well. So I put a guitar magazine and then also a programming magazine. So I was kind of thinking that when the mother moves out, I imagine that she left home maybe after she had her baby. So when she moves out, she's kind of like, obviously she needs a job, right? Because she wants to provide for herself. So I was thinking she kind of was really smart in school, but like that wasn't necessarily something that she focused on too much. But she did get like some fairly basic knowledge, so she did her best to teach herself, which is kind of unrealistic to real life, but she kind of taught herself as much as she could about programming, stuff like that, and she sort of got like a pretty entry-level job with it. And then she like, you know, discovered her passion for it, so now she's really into both programming and then also I was thinking guitars or like something creative like that. There's not an art easel here, but there is a guitar, so I thought maybe music was something that she really enjoyed doing before she moved out. But that's not obviously the most practical way to make money, so yeah. But anyway, I did want to make sure that like you could tell that she was fairly young based on this house and everything, so there are some touches of modern stuff, even though I feel like this bedroom, her bedroom, is fairly more on the traditional side. I tried to put in some stuff that still made it seem like she was still a very young adult, like for example those lights with the pictures hanging on them, they're from kids room stuff, I think. Yeah, they're from kids room stuff. but I felt like they really kind of looked like something that a teenager would have, right? So it's like the type of stuff that maybe like people that she knew from high school, and she's just has all these pictures with them. So yeah, that was why I put that there. But anyway, right here we're just putting in a bookcase and then also a desk. I do give her a laptop, which I guess doesn't technically make the most sense considering what I said about her maybe having a job in some kind of comp sci, but I still feel like it makes sense for her with her entire storyline of not necessarily having a ton of money. So yeah, she probably took her laptop from home though, so like she had a laptop when she was still living with her parents, and then yeah, she took it, which I feel like makes sense. And then I put in just some clutter here. There's a few like little cutesy objects. I do believe I end up deleting that succulent from Cats and Dogs, or maybe I don't know. But here for a little while I was considering putting in a different bed. I'm not really sure why. Oh, because that one was expensive and I felt like this house was coming out to be too expensive. It ends up being around 50 grand, I think. So I felt like it was too expensive, and that is like 3,800 or something like that. So I wanted to replace it with a different one, but the only other one that I could think of was the yellow swatch from the bed from Outdoor Retreat, and I didn't want to have any like main furniture items being from a pack besides the ones that I said I mainly used, so I didn't end up using that. But that is definitely an option if you have that pack and you want to make this house a bit cheaper. Also, just deleting a lot of the clutter would be really helpful. I can't really help myself from putting clutter into places. Even this house doesn't really have like as much clutter in it as I usually would, especially if you look at the living room and stuff. So yeah, that was a bit different. I keep saying that though. Recently I have not been doing that clutter of houses, although my most recent speed build besides this one that I think should be going up before this one, I'm not sure because I'm pre-recording right now. Technically pre-recording, I'm only going to be gone for like a week, but I'm pretty sure that house is definitely much more cluttered than this one, especially because if you've watched it you'll know, but it's kind of atypical compared to my regular houses. So yeah, go and check that one out also, because honestly I'm very, very proud of that one. I really like it a lot. So yeah, if you watch that one, let me know what you think of that one also, because I like it a lot. And also obviously let me know what you think of this one, because I am quite proud of it. It was a bit of a passion project, to be honest. I sort of just busted it out really fast. Like, I think it took me maybe an hour and a half, because so like I said, I'm recording videos for while I'm going to be gone right now. I actually haven't been putting up that many videos, like as of right now, that I probably should be putting up. Which, the thing is that I didn't realize about pre-recording until I started trying to do it, which was literally just like right now, is that you're not only making videos for the future, right? So you're trying to like stockpile these videos to put up while you're gone, but you're also making videos for like while you are making videos. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. And everybody else who's like, because most of the people that watch these videos also do YouTube, I think, so you're all like, yeah, duh, Jacqueline, like, what are you talking about? Obviously that's what you have to do. But yeah, for some reason I didn't really, like, that didn't register with me until I tried to do it. So that was a bit of a shock. Oh, but anyway, also another thing that I want to mention here is that I did this thing with the little, oh my god, I'm blanking on the word, the little, oh, ottoman. That was bad. The ottoman from Laundry Day, I raised it up into the dresser in the toddler's room just to look like a changing table. I've seen a lot of people do that, so, and no, it wasn't original of me, but I think it looks really cute and it adds a nice touch. But here we are. This is the only bathroom that I show in the build. It's technically the master bath, but there's not really much difference between them except that this one has a shower in it and a tub instead of just a tub. So yeah, there are 2 tubs in this house. I felt like that made sense because it's a toddler and toddlers need the tub to, like, you can't clean them without a tub. So I wanted to have a tub there just for the sake of functionality. And then I'm just placing this stuff in the window right here. It did have a bit of a blue tint to it. I think that's because it renders the way it would if it was technically placed outside. Like all of these things that I have on the windowsill there. I'm sorry, I keep stuttering today. I'm sort of talking really fast. This is what happens. Usually I record my voiceovers like pretty late at night, but it's fairly middle of the day right now and I get very hyper. So yeah, but like I said, I did put that stuff up in the window there. I think it's cute. But anyway, now we're working on the backyard, and I just put in a little barbecue. This is the barbecue from Toddler Stuff Pack, so I'm pretty sure that, actually no, I use a few things from Toddler Stuff Pack, because I also use those pillows. The pillows are really cute though. I pretty much use those in every build, but that's one of the few things I use from Toddler Stuff. But you could definitely replace that with like anything you need. And then right now I think we're moving on to landscaping after I add that little bit there, because I just felt like that entire wall, if you saw what I was talking about, it was just like all white paneling, and I felt like that looked a little bit weird, so I replaced it with that wallpaper from Cats and Dogs, or that shingling, I suppose. But anyway, for the landscaping here, I go with a fairly orange and yellow scheme just because I felt like that fit really well with the blue. And to be fair, there's not a lot of blue on the exterior of this house, but there are a few blue accents, and some of the windows are blue and like the door is blue and stuff. So I felt like that was a pretty nice way to draw out the color scheme. And then yeah, once I put that down, I put a few rocks around, and then that's pretty much it, to be honest. There's not much in the way of landscaping here because, again, landscaping is so expensive, and I was trying to keep this at least decently cheap. But anyway, once we do the terrain painting here, I think we're going to be about done with this house. So thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. And if you like this house, you can play on it. You can download it from the gallery, and my origin ID is Thatsjaylin. It will be in the description as well. And then if you like this video and you'd like to see more from me, you can like and comment and subscribe to my channel, just to let me know. And then you can also click the bell so that you get notifications every single time I upload a video. And that is it. Bye!